It had been so long since humans began contemplating the stars that the idea of someone else being up there had turned into little more than a collective dream, fueled by stories, movies, and scientific speculation. But the reality was far more unsettling than anyone could have imagined. It all began in a remote region of the Atacama Desert, where a team of astronomers installed a new experimental radio telescope capable of capturing ultra-low frequency signals. The project's goal was to study gravitational waves, but what they found was something no theory had anticipated: a pattern. At first, they thought it was background noise or a system malfunction, but when they managed to isolate the signal, it began repeating at precise intervals, as if someone was trying to communicate. It wasn't just random waves, but something structured, almost musical, with a complexity that defied explanation. Dr. Marco Arriaga, the project leader, couldn't contain his excitement. "This is intelligence," he declared with a trembling voice to his team. "There's no way this is natural. We are being observed." The international scientific community received the news with skepticism, but soon more observatories around the world began picking up the same signal. The most terrifying part was that the frequencies seemed to adapt to the systems attempting to study them, as if they knew they were being analyzed. In the weeks that followed, the patterns became more complex. They now contained encoded images, star maps, and fragments of molecular structures that scientists interpreted as indications of advanced life. Humanity was on the brink of a monumental discovery. However, what no one could foresee was that this alien civilization wasn't sending a greeting, but a warning. One night, while the world's top scientists tried to decipher a particularly enigmatic message, all screens connected to research systems began displaying a single symbol: a black circle surrounded by concentric lines. None of the systems had a record of receiving such an image. It was as if it had appeared spontaneously. That's when telescopes around the globe detected something extraordinary: a fleet of massive objects moving through the outer solar system. They were so large that they were initially mistaken for asteroids, but their trajectories were too precise, too controlled. They were heading toward Earth. Chaos quickly gripped the world. Governments tried to contain the information, but it was impossible. Social media became flooded with conspiracy theories, and the streets of the world's major cities filled with protesters, believers, and skeptics alike. Some saw the arrival as the end of times, others as an opportunity for a new beginning. The objects arrived in Earth's vicinity in silence. They emitted no discernible signals and made no attempt to communicate. They simply floated in orbit, enormous and ominous. They were colossal structures, black as obsidian, with geometric shapes that defied human understanding. A week after their arrival, an inexplicable event shook the planet. Time seemed to stop. Clocks ceased ticking, birds froze mid-flight, and people were trapped in an eternal instant. But human minds remained active. It was as if something or someone was observing every thought, every memory, every emotion. When time finally resumed, the aliens spoke. Not with words, but with thoughts that resonated simultaneously in the minds of every human being. "We have watched you from the beginning. You are not the first, nor will you be the last. Your species stands at a crossroads, and what you do now will determine your fate." Humanity tried to respond, but the aliens seemed uninterested in dialogue. Instead, they began projecting visions of the past and the future. They showed humans how their actions had brought them to the brink of environmental collapse, wars, inequality, and destruction. But they also showed a possible future, one where humanity achieved balance, colonized the stars, and eventually joined the Council of Species, a coalition of advanced civilizations that had been monitoring the galaxy for millennia. However, there was one final warning: only the worthy survive. Those who fail vanish. Humanity had a choice, but they also knew they were being watched. The aliens remained in orbit, motionless, but their presence changed everything. Nations began collaborating in ways never seen before, sharing technologies and resources. The arms race was replaced by a race for sustainability. Not everyone embraced the change. Parts of humanity rebelled, believing the aliens were gods or demons, seeking to manipulate them. Internal conflicts erupted, and the world descended into a struggle between those who sought progress and those who clung to the past. Over time, a new elite of leaders emerged, visionaries who understood that change was the only way to survive. Humanity began to work as one, developing technologies that defied the laws of physics, exploring deep space, and learning to live in harmony with their planet. The aliens never intervened directly. They never attacked or helped. They simply observed. But their presence was enough to alter the course of human history forever. Finally, after centuries of effort, humanity built a ship, advanced enough to approach the colossal alien structures. When they did, they found a single open door, a silent invitation to join something much greater than they had ever imagined. The door did not lead to a physical place, but to a new level of existence, an evolutionary leap humanity had earned through blood, sweat, and determination. At that moment, they understood that they were not being observed as a threat or a curiosity. They had been tested, and they had proven themselves worthy. Earth was left behind, but humanity's legacy had only just begun.